when we talk about the procurement cycle, this is what we tend to refer to, right? This is one of this was taken from CIPS, sorry. All right, the Knowledge Hub. All right, it's on their Twitter page, CIPS MENA. All right, so I'll just give a quick overview. So usually usually when we procure capital spares, I would say, or high value goods and services, all right, and works, we firstly identify a need, right? Define the business needs, all right. So those business needs and the specification of the acquisition um, must be outlined, will be outlined very early. I keep talking about um, market analysis. That's doing your due diligence, right? That's important. Checking the market, dotting your I's, crossing your T's. Yep. Checking, looking for inflation, looking for opportunities, looking for deals, looking for establishing what is the best in the market, who is the best provider, who is the best supplier, best contractor, that type of thing, right? Yeah. Develop the strategy and plan. Yes, what is that about? When you're developing a strategy and plan, that might involve several things. Partnership, right? That might be a strategy, partnering with a company um, to acquire the particular asset. Yeah. Leasing might be a strategy. In terms of in terms of from a contract management perspective, you can look at other strategies like adopting a public-private partnership approach, for example, right? Testing one, two, three, right? Adopting a turnkey approach, different things, right? Um, pre-procurement steps in when, for example, the process comes to a temporary closure, right? And then you may have to restart it at some point. So you will have to go out to the market again and check your prices and check all those variables all over because things may very well change, right? So that's one example. Pre-market testing, and then develop documentation. So this is your invitation to tender here. Some people may refer to it as a request for proposal, right? You put all the details in there, terms and conditions and your clauses, etc., right? I'm moving fast. Supplier selection, right? At this point, you select your supplier. Supplier selection might be based on the type of tender. So it might be an open tender, it might be closed or selective, or it might be negotiated. I'll talk a bit more about that in a minute. You see your tender, you collect your bids, and then you you go through your the process of choosing the most suitable vendor, right? So I tend to use this acronym MEET, looking for the most economically advantageous tender, right? That has been adopted or borrowed from the EU procurement directive, right? So that is one way of or one method or approach of selecting your supplier. All right. So basically looking at value, right? Um, your awardee contract, in terms of warehousing and logistics, well, that may come in based on the asset. So you may have some items shipped in the process, or you may have to establish a warehouse for some of your uh, for some parts um, for the asset, right? Contract performance and improvements. You have to monitor, or yeah, you have to monitor or manage the contract, right? So if you're buying again capital equipment, a turbine, a generator, aircrafts, what have you, right? Um, you have to ensure that the contractor or the supplier is, um, it's performing, right? Performing in accordance to the service level agreement, sorry, that would have been established, right, in the contract. Supply relationship, that should be an ongoing thing, all right, at this stage. From the time you get to stage 11, supply relationship is critical. What is that? Supply relationship is working closely with your supplier, collaborating, solving problems together, right? Yeah. Not blaming each other, all right? Establishing a quality circle, all these things, right? And asset management, very important for supply chains these days, very important for the procurement cycle. But you must be thinking about the end of life of that asset from maybe from stage one. So several questions will come up. Should we recycle the asset? Should we sell it? Should we sell it before it gets to the end of life, right? All these things. So, all being part of asset management. So, the procurement cycle. This cycle is, I would say, again, this cycle is more, can be used for more high value acquisitions, all right, based on based on how extensive it is, all right, and based on the variables that it emphasizes upon. All right, so yes, in the middle though, you're seeing some key considerations: sustainability, ethics, yes, ethical sourcing, a big issue. I'm seeing here people and skills, of course. If you're procuring an asset right from a potential supplier, the skill set of the supplier staff is critical, definitely. Innovation, you want your suppliers or your contractors to bring innovation in design, innovation in their processes. Yes, you want some of it, right? Yeah. Stakeholder management or stakeholder engagement. Supplier is a key stakeholder, the contractor. So that can be part of, that could fall under supply relationship management. And yeah, I think I'll leave it there. Hey, risk, okay? Don't forget risk assessment. You should be assessing risk from the beginning, from stage one all the way to the end, constantly reviewing the risks that your procurement cycle is likely to be exposed to. All right, and from the time you review it, you need to build your contingencies and have a plan B, right? In the event that there's a shortage, in the event that the supplier for some reason cannot supply to you, maybe because of some trade embargo you were slapped with, right? Because of some dispute between two countries, things could happen, right? Testing 1 to 3, ladies and gentlemen, the procurement cycle.